Austin, Texas country is Coke FM. Eric Range live from the Deep Eddy Vodka Media Lounge from Music Fest 2023. Beck.
How you doing?
William Beckmann hanging out with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good.
Last time we talked, we were in the Coke FM studios.
Yes, sir.
We were giving away a trip to Music Fest. And
yes.
Just thinking about, man, it's going to be a while.
And now here we are.
Here we are on the mountain. How's it treated you so far?
Good. You know, I mean, like everybody else, I get winded going up the stairs, but you know, we're working through it. I mean, in all seriousness, it's always a privilege to be here, and I can't thank Dixon Productions enough for inviting me time and time again to be a part of it. So yes, I'm stoked.
Every year it seems that there's an artist that no one's heard of before, and they come away from the mountain going, "Have you heard of said artist?" You were that artist several years back. Of course, a lot of people have heard your name now. Getting to come back up here, going from playing the Dung Beetle and getting introduced to, oh yeah, we're going to get thrown into the big tent, the transition into that, and the whirlwind of the last several years, Randy, Parker, have been, the star is starting to not only shine but glow for William Beckmann here lately.
It's been amazing. I mean, I try to take it all in and appreciate the moments as they happen, but I mean, I just got to be grateful to the people that are on my team that help make all these things happen, and just grateful to God for the opportunities, man. I've always wanted to do this since I was a little kid, and to get to do it on the stages that I get to do it on is truly a blessing. So I just try to smile and enjoy it and do a good job.
Speaking of being humble, which you always have been since I got to know you, I don't remember what it was called, but I remember last time we talked, you were doing 4 to 6 shows. Los something.
Oh, yeah, Las Posadas.
Las Posadas.
Yeah, Las Posadas. We did a whole, I want to say it was 8 or 9 shows, and they were all in Texas, and it was a completely different show than what my typical set is, and it was a very crooner, a lot of Christmas songs, a few of my songs, and then we kind of ended the show with like American standards, so like Sinatra songs, Dean Martin tunes. But the whole reason we put that show together, that tour together, was to raise money for families that were affected by the tragedy in Uvalde. So we kind of teamed up with Matthew McConaughey's foundation called Just Keep Living, and of course McConaughey himself has been really hands-on on helping rebuild that community because he's from there. He's from Uvalde, and myself being from Del Rio, which is only 2 towns away, I wanted to contribute however I could, and of course as a singer and an entertainer, I can't really do much but put shows together and try to bring people together through music. So that was the whole point, and the whole tour was sold out, and it was really, really cool to see people all over Texas come together for such a good cause.
Do you feel good because you guys I saw some of the video, your fans, there's a whole fan blogging page now that you have out there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
And they put out videos every single.
Okay.
So I've seen a lot of the footage, up on stage. Everybody's dressed up in a suit. You're not
Yes.
even playing guitar.
No, yeah, well, I played guitar for like a small portion of the show, which was cool because I've been telling people, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I think as an entertainer, it's always good to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, but that was kind of the first time I ever did that, and it is truly, it's very daunting to go out on stage without your crutch, without your guitar. You got. It's almost like a shield that you get to hide behind.
You don't know what to do with your hands.
You don't, and it's really,
Did you figure it out by the 8th show?
I did. It took me probably the first 2
spare
shows.
hands
But
and
it's
jazz
different.
hands?
It depends on the style of music that you're playing. Because if you're doing that sort of that genre of music, the crooner Dean Martin thing, there's a certain level of like suave that you have to kind of learn. It's just like a confidence thing, man. And I'll be honest, like me and my band, we were intentionally drinking a little bit, not a lot, but we had whiskey on stage, and that's kind of what the Rat Pack, they used to do that. So we used it as a prop, and that kind of helped me get a little bit, more comfortable in my own skin doing it, because it's scary not having a guitar up there. But I thought
especially when you're a great guitar player.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, but But no, I walked away having benefited from the whole experience, and I feel like I learned something as an entertainer and a performer that I'll be able to hold with me for the rest of my life. You know, it's
That
good.
you can set your guitar down.
Yeah, and I'm not afraid to now, and I think before the tour I was, and so it was good, man. I think it's a healthy thing to be able to do.
It turned out well, all sold out.
Yes.
Great cause. You talked about that going into it. And of course, Uvalde. And we talked about possibly, did McConaughey ever show up? Or?
He did not. I didn't, we had a table reserved, but, you never know.
Right.
I'm not friends with A-listers. I wish I was, but, you always have to reserve a table in case they do get a wild hair and show up,
Just in case.
Just in case.
I did see the Ryman performance coming up in March. I did get my tickets.
Yes. I'm excited.
It's Pat, you,
and Randy.
And Randy.
The Randy Rogers Band.
Have you played the Ryman before?
No.
Mother Church?
I mean, it's definitely a bucket list thing, but I've never been. I've been there a couple times to see some shows. As a matter of fact, the very first time I ever went to Nashville, my grandfather, he took me there when I was maybe 15 or 16 years old, and it was, I'm trying to remember what year it was, but it was right after there's that real bad flood in Nashville.
Oh yeah, it flooded the Ryman.
Yeah,
and the Grand Ole Opry. It hit the Grand Ole Opry harder.
And I can't remember if it did flood the Ryman. They were able to sort of clean that up fairly quickly because the Ryman kind of sits further up on the hill compared to the rest of Broadway. But I do know that the Grand Ole Opry was in real bad shape, and so they'd moved the Grand Ole Opry back to the Ryman. And so we went to go see a Grand Ole Opry show, but it was at the actual, the original Grand Ole Opry, which was really cool. And I got to see little Jimmy Dickens. And I was 15, 16 years old, never, he's a legend. It goes without saying, but I just, being that young, I wasn't familiar with his music. And here comes this short little old man coming out here making everybody laugh and singing these great country songs. And of course, I went home and researched a bunch of stuff and became a fan of his. But it was cool. I've got that memory. But to be on that stage with Mr. Pat Green and the Randy Rogers Band, it's definitely a dream come true.
It's March
That'll be the second, I believe.
It's my wife's birthday.
Really?
Hope she's not watching this.
Oh, well, we'll have to sing her a little happy birthday from the Ryman. But we're doing that, and then what's really cool is the day after I'm doing my Grand Ole Opry debut, so I get to do both.
Really?
It's the Ryman, and the day after you get to do the big one, so get to knock them out in back-to-back, which is pretty intense. No pressure.
5 years ago, however many years ago, when you were here for the first time and everybody was going, hey, have you heard this kid? You're 27 now, by the way.
27, I still look like a kid, though, so it's all good.
Did you see William Beckmann playing the Grand Ole Opry and the Ryman back-to-back nights, if you could have fast-forwarded at all?
Back then?
Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. I've explained this to you before on air, but, I really do owe both Radney and Randy. I owe them a lot of credit because they're the two individuals that I kind of looking back helped me do what I'm doing now. But Radney kind of taught me how to write songs and how to open my ears and open my eyes and to look at the things that happen around you to be able to pull from it for inspiration to write songs. And Randy really helped me get on my feet to actually figure out how to do this for a living and to do it, and make a living doing it. And because of that, I was given a lot of opportunities that I realized not everybody really gets to have. I was surrounded by great people, but I went from playing little coffee shops and smoky bars to all of a sudden opening up for Randy and for Wade and everybody else. And so I'm very grateful for those opportunities. But no, I think at the time back then, I was still just stoked to be playing in front of more than 12 people, So
coffee.
Yeah.
And getting free coffee.
Exactly. Free coffee. In a little Starbucks coupon or something. I don't know, but it's really cool.
It's not lost on you, clearly.
No, but I do try to live in the moment. I sort of freak myself out when I think too much about the future and too much about the past. But it's nice to take a look back and appreciate those little milestones that you sometimes kind of forget to appreciate. So thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, when you're
really
playing
cool.
a sold-out show on New Year's Eve, opening up for
with Parker, yeah, that was amazing too. And of course, everybody here knows Parker, and he's a big sweetheart, and him and I become pretty good friends over the past couple years, and everybody's rooting for him. He's absolutely tearing it up. But just to get those opportunities too, I hope that at some point in my life or in my career, I'm able to sort of pay that forward and maybe help somebody else do some of those things that those guys have helped me do.
Knowing those guys, they're rooting for you. That's why Randy pushed you out in front of that Corpus crowd to sing El Rey
That's
first
right.
time when
You
they
know
lost
about
their
that.
friggin' mind. And Parker doing the same
Yeah.
thing for you.
I was shaking in my boots, Luke Casey boots.
There you go. So, yeah. Are you going to show your boots on camera? We've seen the new Luke Casey's here
These
lately.
ones, they were really shining when we got here, and I've thankfully I've not fallen, but it is kind of sketchy walking around in these boots in the snow and ice. But yes, I can't thank Luke Casey enough for always giving my band and I stuff to wear on stage.
William Beckmann hanging out live in studio. You have the official Deep Eddy Vodka guitar.
Guitar, yes.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at there.
I don't know how you got my girlfriend on there, but you did.
Yeah.
And,
Will you play us a song?
Sure.
And I want to ask you to play Taylor Swift. I did notice
yeah.
you
Somebody
put
asked
that
me
into
about
your
that.
show.
Yeah, somebody asked me about that also the other day, that they heard it on the radio, and that was awesome that they were tuning in and heard that tune. I can play whatever. What do you want to hear?
I want you to play whatever comes to your head right now.
I usually like singing my little whiskey song that I wrote a couple of years ago, but people seem to enjoy it. Whiskey song brought to you by Deep Eddy Vodka. So there you go. Well, you said it's over. Our love is dead and gone. I don't know where it went wrong, but honey, I won't complain if you decide to leave. So go on, walk out that door, and don't worry about me. I will be drinking bourbon whiskey all night long with my friends to keep me company. And darling, you won't be on my mind at all, because I'll be busy drinking bourbon whiskey. Pack your belongings and go back to Cleveland. Forget about me and enjoy your freedom. Just don't call me to say you're sorry and you miss me, because I won't listen. No, I'll be drunk off bourbon whiskey. I will be drinking Deep Eddy all night long with my friends to keep me company. And darling, you won't be on my mind at all, because I'll be busy drinking bourbon whiskey. I'll be busy drinking bourbon whiskey.
William Beckmann. Hey, you made basically a guitar that's just made to look at. You made it sound good.
Well, I did. I tuned it as best I could.